I forgot my lunch today, and I asked my husband to bring me lunch. So let's do an unboxing, because clearly it's a little full.
You called your man because you forgot to pack your lunch and he brings you dog food and you thought that we were gonna think that was cute and funny? It would have been cute and funny if he would have actually packed you something in there to eat. He did not.
What the fuck do you mean you asked your husband to pack you a lunch and bring it to work and he brought you dog food in a fucking bag? And when people in the comments said, what the fuck? You defended him?
Okay, I did not have dog food in a wife's lunchbox on my 2025 bingo card. The internet is arguing about whether this is just goofy humor or a bright red disrespect flag, and I am torn between laughing at the audacity and asking if we have all lost the plot. Today we are breaking down Caitlyn's viral husband packed my lunch video, the snacks, the note that said, because you're my dog, the sister's involvement, the psychologist's analysis, and why the it's just a joke defense made everything worse. Let's talk about what happened, why it matters, and what we're really seeing underneath the haha we're silly veneer. A snap recap. Who are we talking about? Caitlyn, aka Caitlyn Teachers, her husband, full-time nursing student, and her sister Ali. What happened? Viral husband packs my lunch video featuring snacks, old leftovers, and bagged dog food with a note, because you're my dog. Please bring back, the dogs are low on food. Where? Posted to TikTok, hit tens of millions of views, later deleted. Reshared widely.
I forgot my lunch today, and I asked my husband to bring me lunch. So let's do an unboxing, because clearly it's a little full.
Why it blew up? Viewers saw disrespect, not humor. Escalation? A psychologist creator analyzed Caitlyn's facial expressions. Caitlyn posted an explanation. Ali posted a defense. The complication: family dynamics. Ali lives with Caitlyn's family. Past trauma story about Ali surfaced. Well, here's the problem we're unpacking today. Is this quirky family humor or just a public case study in minimizing disrespect and calling it a joke? Caitlyn, a teacher, joins the husband packs my lunch trend. On camera, she unboxes cookies, one bag half eaten, pretzels, bag nearly empty, an apple, brief hope, Pringles, another cookie bag, 1 day old Chipotle, she says 2 days, later corrected to 1, and at the bottom, zip-locked dog food with a handwritten note. Because you're my dog, please bring back, the dogs are low on food.
I forgot my lunch today, and I asked my husband to bring me lunch. So let's do an unboxing, because clearly it's a little full. I just have a feeling this is going to be really good. We have a bag of we have a bag of cookies. Not a Ziploc bag, but a bag. We have a bag of pretzels. Feels very empty. We got an apple. Gotta stay healthy. This is good. We have not just a portion of Pringles, but an entire container of Pringles. Another bag of cookies. Another bag. Options. Lucky me. And lastly, okay, we have my 2-day-old Chipotle. And at the very bottom, we have a bag of dog food. Because you're my dog. There's 2, Joy. Please bring back, the dogs are low on food. So ladies, if you don't have food and your husband has to bring you a lunch, just know that you're gonna get lots of food, as well as maybe even a cute note.
She chuckles, presents it like a cute bit, and implies a lesson for the girlies. If you ask your man to pack lunch, you'll get lots of food and a cute note. The internet doesn't see cute. They see weaponized laziness and a punchline built on calling your wife a dog. Comment sections argue, is this harmless banter or contempt packaged as content?
What the fuck do you mean you asked your husband to pack you a lunch and bring it to work and he brought you dog food in a fucking bag? And when people in the comments said, what the fuck? You defended him? You were supposed to go home and light him on fire. You defended him? And people in the comments are like, girl, he did that so that you won't fucking ask him ever again to do that for you. And she's like, yeah, I won't. I won't ask him.
Then comes in analysis from a psychology PhD creator reading Caitlyn's micro expressions, followed by Caitlyn's explanation video, then Ali's defense of the husband and their goofy family dynamic. And somehow, every clarification makes the situation look worse. This matters because intent versus impact. You can intend humor and still deliver disrespect. Viewers reacted to effort allocation. The dog food was the most carefully packaged thing in the bag. The note inside the bag. Because you're my dog, please bring back. The dogs are low on food.
Because you're my dog. There's two, Joy. Please bring back, the dogs are low on food.
So wait a second. He packs food for her, sneaks in food for the actual dogs, and then leaves a note basically calling her the dog too? That's not just a quirky inside joke. That's layered shade disguised as humor. Language matters. Even if dog is slang for homie, pairing it with actual dog food collapses the joke into dehumanizing innuendo. The effort to bag and label the dog food signals where the energy went.
You called your man because you forgot to pack your lunch and he brings you dog food and you thought that we were going to think that was cute and funny? It would have been cute and funny if he would have actually packed you something in there to eat. He did not. He packed this lady a thing of off-brand Pringles, a bag of empty pretzel crumbs, and 2-day-old Chipotle. The thing was all caved in the middle. I'm gonna put it right here. It was all caved in. It looked like it only had like 2 bites left in it. Now, had he bought a fresh Chipotle bowl and put some dog food in it, he could have put a pack of ramen noodles in a Tupperware container to microwave it in. And that would have been better. Then maybe it would have been a cute and a kiki and funny and oh, such a good sense of humor. When are y'all gonna get enough of posting your spouses on here and then acting surprised when we tell you that they're horrible partners? They hate you. He low-key called you a bitch.
He didn't even bother putting together a real lunch. He just grabbed random half-eaten stuff from the kitchen, toasted it in a bag and tried to pass it off as lunch like that counts. That's not effort. That's scavenger vibes dressed up as a favor. Caitlyn's correction. It wasn't 2 days old, just 1 day old. I am a teacher. 1 day feels like 7. Saying it was just 1 day instead of 2 doesn't suddenly turn cold leftovers into a thoughtful meal.
On second, the Chipotle. Y'all are all really upset that it was 2-day-old Chipotle. Well, guess what? Teacher brain deceived me. It was actually a day old. It was from the night before, so not even a day old. I said 2. As a teacher, 1 day feels like 7. Okay, all I get in my bowl is rice, steak, and beans. That's what my son thinks about it. Okay, anyway.
It's still the same sad lunch, and no amount of timeline correction changes that. The correction tries to defang criticism, but it doesn't change the pattern. Low effort meal, high effort bid. Reset 5. Caitlyn says she asked for leftovers and snacks. The dog food was a surprise to make her laugh. If she really asked for all that, then why did her whole face scream, "What even is this?" the second she started pulling things out? That look wasn't playful. It was genuine confusion and low-key embarrassment, and it gave away more than her words ever did. Viewers cite her visible disgust during unboxing. That clashes with, "I asked for this." The mismatch fuels skepticism.
Tim and my sister came up with this idea together. My sister thought it was funny too.
Why is your sister chilling with your husband alone in the middle of the afternoon while you're at work? You said that as if it made that any better. You could not beat this information out of me. I am genuinely flabbergasted at the things that people allow and accept. Maybe my boundaries are just a little bit too strict. I don't know, but absolutely the fuck not. And she signed off on sending you dog food. That didn't send off no like alarm bells, no red flags, no nothing. Not only was there another grown adult there that could have guided him to a better lunch choices, it was your sister who just happened to be chilling at your house alone with your husband in the middle of the afternoon and signed off on sending you dog food. One thing I've learned about TikTok is the more people come on here and try to explain their bad partners and the decisions that they make, they just make it worse and worse and worse and worse. Like, just sometimes no response is the best response. I fear the lights on but no one's home, because absolutely the fuck not. I'm genuinely befuddled at anyone who thinks that any of this is okay.
Reset 5. Ali's TikTok caption. Your opinions and assumptions are irrelevant. Ali confirms she helped with packing and supports the dog bit because the family is goofy.
Brings me lunch once a week. So all of you saying that this is his way of telling you to never ask again, no. He brings me lunch once a week. Normally it's like Chick-fil-A or something like that. First day of school, he bought me a bouquet of candy and a bouquet of flowers, set up a whole screen that said happy first day of school, all the things. He doesn't hate me, guys. But the Chipotle, the reason he packed that is because he wasn't planning on bringing me that lunch that day. I had asked him to bring me lunch because I had forgotten, and he said, what would you like? I said, Chipotle leftovers and snacks. He packed me Chipotle leftovers and snacks. The reason I recorded it is because I knew it was gonna be funny how he packed it. I just knew it was gonna be.
So not only did he think this was funny, but her own sister co-signed it too. They literally teamed up on the idea and rolled it out like a group project, which makes it sting way more because it wasn't just one person clowning her. It was a tag team effort. The coalition, husband plus sister, makes the joke feel on her, not with her. That's why people read hostility here.
Hi y'all, just wanted to come on here really quick and make a comment / statement. As y'all are all aware, my sister had a video go viral of her unboxing a lunch that her husband packed for her. Several things that I kind of want to note here. Yes, I was with him when he packed that lunch. I was egging it on. I was like, yeah, do it, because our family is so full of humor. Half the viral videos that I have on my page are literally my family being so goofy and funny and sometimes even making fun of each other. Like, that's just how our family dynamic is. So yes, I was with him midday, helping him pack the lunch, and why that is because I live with them. Me and my son live with them. I'm not going to go into reasons why. That is nobody's business but my own, but I do live with them. I didn't have any clients that day, and he didn't have class that day as a full-time nursing student. That being said, I was getting up for the day and she needed a lunch, and he started packing it and was like, what should I pack it? And I said, this is what you should pack. And he just kind of went with it, and he even said, should I do this with the dog food? I said, absolutely. Y'all know my family, you know that it just fits so well with her personality, with ours. He treats her really well, and y'all don't get to see that, but I do. I personally, as her big sister, get to watch my sister be in love, and as her big sister, it's a weird feeling to look up to them as a couple. I am single, so I look at that and I'm like, wow, like I want that. Like, I want the humor, I want the love, and he really is one of the sweetest, nicest people to her, so romantic to her. But not only that, he's nice to everybody. Like, he'll go out of his way to help anybody, no matter what. Y'all are really going after livelihoods at this point, and y'all are taking a shot at my sister's character. And do I appreciate y'all, like, looking out for her? Absolutely. As a big sister, it kind of feels good not to see the negative, but to look at that and be like, wow, people are actually, like, if they were really concerned, they want to be quiet about it. So in a sense, I appreciate y'all, like, actually looking out for my little sister, because I can promise you one thing: if he treated her like garbage, I would not put up with it. Anybody who knows me knows I would not put up with it. That's all I'm gonna say as far as that video goes.
wanted y'all more to put in perspective before y'all be keyboard warriors and really state your opinion in comments. Just remember that these are people's lives. Try to put yourself in the shoes of if you posted something you thought was cute, quirky, and funny that your husband did, and you're being told to get a divorce, that he's cheating on her, that she has an awful sister. Like, just try to put yourself in her shoes. She's genuinely not bothered because that's the type of heart she has, and she will always find the positive in everything. But if I was her, I know I'd be to the ground crying, sobbing, screaming, throwing up, all the above. Keep that in mind before y'all go crazy and try to go after someone's livelihood. So
Caitlyn shares childhood trauma, saying Ali once forced her at age 7 to soil a diaper during a game. If that's what passes as goofy in their family, then I don't even want to imagine what they call serious. It's not giving silly sibling banter, it's giving straight up mean-spirited history that she'll still carry with her. Caitlyn later says she expected hate and that both love and hate help her. If this was really lighthearted like she keeps insisting, then why delete the very video that made it go viral in the first place? That's not the move of someone standing 10 toes down on their joke. That's the move of someone who knows the reaction cuts deeper than they want to admit. The real breaking point isn't even the dog food anymore. It's the chain of explanations that kept digging the hole deeper. Every so-called clarification came off as a fresh contradiction that only confused people more and chipped away at her credibility. I asked for snacks didn't line up with the look on her face that screamed frustration while unboxing. Dog means homie didn't hold weight when it was written on a bag of literal dog food with a note about restocking the pets. Its family humor sounded hollow once viewers remembered the older clip of her sister's past behavior that looked more cruel than funny. And here's where the dynamics got messy. Ali lives under the same roof. Her husband is still in school, and Caitlyn seems to be the one holding down the stable income. So people started asking the obvious. Why is the one carrying the household also the one being made into the punchline? That imbalance is exactly why the explanations felt off, because they weren't just defending a joke. They were exposing who really holds the power in that house.
Does anyone else think that sister and that husband are fucking, and that whole dog food lunch thing was just like an actual joke between them, and the wife was just the punchline, and now she's being the punchline in front of the entire world because she's defending him? Again, I'm not accusing anybody of anything, but I'm just saying if my sister and my husband were to like come up with a weird joke like that, all I'm saying is I'm suspicious of the husband and the sister.
Let's analyze my theory layer. Theory 1, coalition humor that punches down. Husband and sister were both in on the bit, co-signing the lunch gag and making the dog food the most thought out part of the whole bag. Ali brushed off the backlash with her caption, and when you had the older clip where Caitlyn herself described the butt of her sister's jokes, you see a pattern that feels less playful and more one-sided. If we saw plenty of moments where the humor was balanced, where he and Ali also got clowned publicly in the same way, it would look more like shared banter instead of piling on Caitlyn. This matters because calling it goofy doesn't erase the fact that the joke keeps landing on the same person. And when that happens over and over, it stops feeling like humor and starts looking like disguised disrespect.
Who hates her more, her husband or her sister, or maybe her mother, because her mother entered my comment section. So let's unpack what her sister said. Her sister is the one that encouraged the husband to pack the dog food, right? And she says that she was there at the house. And at first I'm like, why you at her house midday while she at work? But she lives with them. Okay, why you live with them? Irrelevant. Y'all are family. But then she says the husband, who is a full-time nursing student, had no class on the same day that she also had no clients. My sister's a nurse. No class? Interesting. And no clients on the same day. Middle of the week. Interesting. And she claims that, oh, this is just how her family is, and they just love each other, and they just love making jokes like this, and blah, 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 blah. But, not that long ago, she posted a video. I can't find the screenshots right now. I'm sure she's removed it from her page, where she was talking about how she is still traumatized by her sister. Yes, the sister that she encouraged the husband to give dog food to for lunch. By that sister, because when they were kids, the sister would force her to pretend to be a baby, wear a real diaper, and shit on herself before she was allowed to play with everybody else. She was 7. So you have already told us that you are still traumatized by your sister, and now you want us to believe that you encourage her husband to give her dog food out of love? Oh, and back to what I said about the mama, right? I said that because I made another video, right? And the mom came in my comments and she was like, that's my daughter and her husband loves her and da 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 da. And when I said to the mom, I said, I want you to watch the video back as someone who does not know them, and what would you get from that video? And then she agreed that, okay, I can see why y'all would say that. Yeah.
Theory 2. Rage baiting for the algorithm. This wasn't just some random clip. It tapped into a viral trend, used a shock prop that was guaranteed to get a rise of people, and then got pulled after racking up 30 million views, which only fueled even more re-uploads and chatter. Caitlyn herself admitted she knew folks would get mad, and even said the hate helps her, which really makes it feel intentional. If she had instead owned the misstep, dropped a genuine apology, and shifted her content away from humiliating bits, that would prove it wasn't about chasing rage clicks. This matters because when you treat outrage like a growth strategy, you basically teach your audience to accept humiliation as entertainment. And over time, that normalizes everyone being desensitized to disrespect.
So right now there's a video going around of a woman who asked her husband to pack her lunch, and in this lunch he packed her an open bag of cookies, another set of cookies, some chips, some old Chipotle, and a bag that had some dog food in it, like some kibbles and bits, with a note that said, "'Cause you my dog," and then said, "No, bring this back because the dog's alone food." And of course the women who hate men are up in arms and are having a field day with this. I just really want to point out 3 things to you guys. 1, y'all don't know if this is a real situation or not. Y'all don't know if this is a real video. Like, this very well could have been, "Hey babe, there's this trend of husband packing lunches for their wives. I think it would be funny if we do ... So yeah, we should do this." And then they put it out there thinking that people would actually laugh. But no, people are actually going in on her and her husband and all that other stuff. Number 2, look, I wouldn't have done the dog joke myself because I felt like it could have been taken left. But y'all don't know these people to know how they joke with one another. Y'all have no idea how they communicate and laugh and joke. Well, I watched the video. She seemed like she was having a good time with it. And I know this situation because I know my wife, me and her joke with each other. Me and her crack on each other. I mean, literally months ago, she said I could be part of the Teenage Musty Ninja Turtles and my name could be Ashatello. Did it sting? Yes, because it was good. A little bit, it did sting. But it was a good joke, and that's how we laugh, joke, and communicate with each other. Y'all don't know how they do that because y'all don't know them. Thirdly, she cut off the comments, and I'm pretty sure some of y'all in y'all mind like, oh yeah, that's very telling that she cut off the comments. It's telling that some of y'all are miserable. It's telling that sometimes y'all will look for any reason and go outside of logic to be like, yeah, I'm a bash this person, I don't know. Because like I said, more than likely, they put out this video because it's a trend, did some stuff thinking it was going to be funny. Instead, she got an internet full of people saying how her husband hates her, and you guys are bashing a man over a situation that y'all don't even know is real or fake.
The psychologist who broke it down pointed out Caitlyn's face showing a mix of disgust and that kind of disappointed look you get when you already expect to be let down. The read was that she's been conditioned to brush it off, almost like she's internalized the idea that this is just how men behave and she has to laugh along. If Caitlyn started drawing clear lines about what she finds respectful and stopped backtracking with the whole "it's fine" routine every time people online call it out, that would show she's not stuck in that pattern. This matters because when disrespect keeps getting excused as a joke, it makes it nearly impossible to call out the harm directly because the line between play and put down gets blurred until nobody takes it seriously anymore.
I'm a cognitive psychologist, and it's very rare that stories like this trend and actually kind of tie into my area of expertise. So I'm going to touch on this. Let's just all know I am not saying anything definitive about her or her situation. This is just, I don't know, partly to educate and partly to just talk about this because it's wild. I want to talk about her facial expressions in this video because I feel like a lot of times a person's body language and facial expressions are going to be a lot more informative than their words, especially when something is unfolding in real time and they're processing it in front of a camera. So this is an image taken from the very first moment of her video where she's telling us, she slides the lunchbox over and she says, "My husband packed my lunch." And I just want you to look at this face. The lips pinched together in a tiny little line, one eyebrow partially raised, eyes kind of thin and squinty. This is a person who already knows what's in this lunchbox. I'm not saying that she's already looked in the lunchbox, but this is not the first time an event like this has happened. And to speculate a little, I'll just say, I think that most women whose husbands are considerate and thoughtful, if their husband brought them a lunch, their first thought wouldn't be, oh, let me pull out my camera and film this, because what's newsworthy about that? She already knows whatever's in there is a doozy, and she's going to film it today. And it was here that, for me, I was like, okay, off to a fine start. There are plenty of marriages where, husbands are quirky, they do goofy things. I'm ready to have a laugh with you, friend. But as we went on, right, and we start pulling out, practically empty entire bags of potato chips, what else was there? Several different types of cookies, nothing substantive yet. Eventually, we get to the 2-day-old Chipotle, which she's now come back and clarified that it's actually just 1-day-old Chipotle, so... And I'm sorry, but this expression here, the thin smile, the closed eyes, this is not of her blinking. This is several moments where she's pulling something out and she's got her eyes closed. This is very much giving exasperation, bemused exasperation.
So the big picture here is we're watching how intent, impact, and power collide on TikTok, where the algorithm rewards provocation and families sometimes mistake audience laughter for relationship health. The fallout: public backlash, massive discourse framing the stunt as disrespect, not banter. Reputation risk: Caitlyn becomes the wife with dog food in her lunch, which can bleed into career optics. She's a teacher. Family dynamics under scrutiny: Ali's role draws suspicion. Internet armchair theories about boundaries and loyalty surge. Creator ecosystem: other creators now hold the narrative. Analysis clips, commentary breakdowns, re-uploads. What to watch next? Do they double down on goofy family content or pivot? Does Caitlyn set on camera boundaries, no humiliation bits, equal opportunity jokes? And any genuine acknowledgement of why people felt disrespected? This is a case study of how everyday disrespect can be packaged as content, then excused as just a joke until an audience mirrors back what you've normalized. The verdict: if the only thing that looked like real effort was bagged up dog food, then the message wasn't about care. It was about control. A joke shouldn't need a whole breakdown to make sense. And if it does, it stops being funny and starts looking shady. If this really is their idea of playful, then it needs to be mutual and not at her expense. Otherwise, it's just cheap disrespect dressed up as content. If dog really means homie, then treat your homie with some respect and send them actual food. Do you see this as light-hearted humor, or is it a bigger pattern of Caitlyn's brushing off things she shouldn't?